Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday and welcome to another episode of Bitcoin Magazine Live. I'm your host Q, coming to you yet again from Nashville at Bitcoin Magazine HQ, and I'm joined by my co-host P. How goes it, P?
As always, it goes fantastically. We got a special surprise today. Our original guest, Mandrick, unfortunately, is unable to join us, but we've done you one better. We're bringing in incredible filmmaker, Pleb Music. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, guys. Very, very nice to see you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for joining us. I think the title of the show today is appropriate. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but live by Bitcoin, die by Bitcoin. I guess it does kind of, because your show is about living by Bitcoin. So I take that back, just the first thing I said. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what the show that you are launching tomorrow is about, and then we're going to play the trailer for it and then go through it from there?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Pleb Music. I would define myself as a content creator and filmmaker. And yeah, what I'm basically working on or have been working on the last weeks and months is a new show called Bitcoiner's Travel Guide, which basically wants to show the world or Bitcoiners what is happening like outside their own house, basically just open up to the community what is happening in different countries. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna travel different countries, different cities, and report what is happening there regarding to Bitcoin. And we have the first episode is gonna be in Amsterdam, which is pretty cool, and we always combine it with some challenges. So it's not just showing, okay, what's happening in this country and how far is the adoption towards hyper Bitcoinization, but it's also showing like how it is to live on a Bitcoin standard. Like the title says, it's live by Bitcoin, die by Bitcoin. So for this first episode, I actually got on a challenge of like surviving 48 hours by only using Bitcoin. So I didn't have any euros, no dollars, no other currency. And yeah, so this is basically what we do. And yeah, excited to show the plebs around the world and open up the Bitcoin community to different countries.
Love it. Love it. Well, let's roll the tape. What do you think? Should we do it?
Oh, let's go.
All right, here we go.
Take you on a journey and show you how real this internet money is. I'll be taking you to various cities around the globe to report on what's going on with Bitcoin. My first stop will be in Amsterdam. I'm going to try to survive for 48 hours solely on Bitcoin. There will be no euros, no dollars, or no other currency used for transactions besides Bitcoin.
I love the super intense music.
Man, you gotta get hyped for it, What should I say?
Fuck yeah. I feel like it's like oh god, the trailer. What's the one of the new Star Wars movies where it's like there's this like really intense like the one with like Jyn Erso, where it's like dun 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 dun, and there's this like siren blaring. That's the
we also have a lot of lightsabers in the episodes, and like it's basically Star Wars 2.0.
I'm glad you took the creative notes I gave you.
Yeah.
Sounds better than the last Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the new ones. I think I was big into Star Wars back in the days, but yeah.
High key, low key, Rogue One, the one that P just referenced, is actually excellent.
Really?
Excellent.
Gotta watch it.
Wait, what do you think? Yeah. Can we do the? I think I hate this view. It's too intense.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're going back to this one. So take us through, like, where did this idea come from? You mentioned it a little bit just a second ago, but like what other concepts did you consider exploring? Why did you choose Amsterdam as the first place to start? Let's start there.
Yeah, so why I chose the concept of like surviving 48 hours basically is I have this feeling that there's a big misconception in the world, or maybe we can even talk about it here. But I think that a lot of people still think that Bitcoin is a scam and that you can't really use Bitcoin in a day-to-day on a day-to-day basis because it's so volatile, because it's so slow, and all of the FUD happening. And basically, I was just also wondering, okay, I know for me it's true, but can I also use it in the normal world, And basically, the only thing you can do is by trying, you can experience it by trying. So basically I was just like, yeah, okay, fuck it, let's make 48 hours and try to survive. And to be honest, it was quite hectic because obviously hyper Bitcoinization isn't there yet, and there were some problems that I ran into, which I didn't think that I would run into. So it was also for me quite good to see where we are right now on the way to hyper Bitcoinization. But yeah, that was basically why I chose it. And I think as the first episode, it's very important to just highlight for people who aren't into Bitcoin, who are maybe more critical about it, to really show, okay, it's something that you can use on a day-to-day basis, and there is a future for this technology. And I think this was the goal for this episode. I'm really excited to see what the feedback of the community is, of all of you guys in the chat as well. And this was kind of the approach we took with the first episode. And
And how many episodes are there going to be total?
This is still a secret.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So more than one, less than 2,000. I'm making a note here. I'm curious what when you were filming this first episode, what were some of the things that specifically were difficult to navigate? Was it sort of trying to buy illicit drugs, trying to hire a hitman? What was
That's easy. That's super easy.
Got it.
No, so the thing was just to find the outlets where you could use it. And at some point, it was very hard in Amsterdam, to be honest, because I wanted to do it without preparing. So it wasn't that I had I'm gonna research a month where I could use it, where the Bitcoin ATMs are and so on. So it was rather just okay, let's just go there, let's see what happens. And so there were a lot of problems because, for example, it's very hard to film and to talk with a lot of people while not eating for 14 hours, because you basically don't get any food for 14 hours because no one's gonna accept Bitcoin. And I think a big learning though was for this episode that it's really just about talking to the people and showing that it's real, because most of them just don't know anything about Bitcoin. And once you kind of take the time to explain it to them, to onboard them, they understand the value behind Bitcoin and what it can be used on a daily basis. But I think this was the problem. A lot of people didn't even go into this discussion of being okay, what is it? Because all of the people who were open to me explaining what Bitcoin is and how they could accept it, all of them accepted it, but it's just a lot of people have this I think this wrong, they are caught in a wrong narrative about Bitcoin, and once they hear Bitcoin, they immediately reject it and say, no, it's a scam, I don't want to have to do anything without it. But I mean, it's also weird if there's some weird guy, some German guy asking you if you want to have some Bitcoin, if they're going to take you on a board. So I can understand why it might be a little bit scammy, but I think this is the problem which I ran into, just people not being open and being Bitcoin is a scam, I don't want to talk with you.
Well, since P is muted, as tends to happen on this show, what was a moment where you were kind of sweating? What was a thing that you were trying to get your hands on that no one was accepting Bitcoin for, that took a minute to find?
Food.
Besides food, yeah.
Yeah, food was, but the thing is, we got food, but as you know, I'm a seed oil disrespecter. Shout out to the seed oil disrespecters. Like the food we got was like very bad food. You're gonna see it in the episode. It's like, yeah, I wasn't happy.
Just
I
a
wasn't happy.
gallon of canola oil or some shit.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, yeah, but I like, because it took so long to get some food, I just ate it, you know. But one thing which I really struggled with was like, I wanted to go on a boat with by paying with Bitcoin, because like Bitcoiners love boating. And so we
What do you
tried.
love, bro?
I love boating.
And meat
Yeah,
and disrespecting seed oils. Okay, I see your personality.
yeah, it's very predictable with no name, right? Down here. Yeah, here. Yeah. Yeah, boating was a challenge, I would say. Yeah, it took like 45 minutes for me to oh no, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I didn't, me myself, I wasn't able to get on a boat with Bitcoin. So there's some, yeah, you're gonna see it, but me personally, I didn't manage to pay for Bitcoin.
Yeah, but then that's the scene where then immediately afterwards you dress up like a sort of an 1800 style abalone diver and like a frogman, go in the water, attach yourself like a limpet to the
Yes,
side of a steamship, and then just do that with your Bitcoin. Is that
that's
right?
the thing I didn't want to spoil. Thanks, B.
Fuck, I'm sorry, dude.
But
I'm
yeah.
realizing we didn't make it super clear at the top. We did play the epic Star Wars themed lightsaber battle, including trailer. If you missed that, I'm so sorry. You failed yourself and your children. But we didn't actually say, I don't think, that the first episode premieres tomorrow. Did we say that yet?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, we fucked it up. The first episode of this incredible show premieres tomorrow on the Bitcoin Magazine YouTube channel. So mark your calendars, get ready. It's going to go live at 12:30 Central Time. You do not want to miss it. How long is the first episode?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Nice. It's a
So
good,
yeah.
clean 20 minutes. How many
You know,
times do you
like
swear?
over the weekend, you gotta watch it. It's a fun watch. I hope. And like, seriously, tell me what you like, what you don't like about it. I'm very open for it. It's yeah. I was grinding hard into this. Oh, that's what she said.
Those are your words, not mine. But I'm now imagining you just like with like a super nice camera. We're talking like, you know, Leica lenses, maybe Zeiss,
You know
just
what I
super
was
wide
thinking?
angle.
Okay, I have a business idea, guys.
Hit
Let
us
me
with
know
it.
what you think. Porns, but with crazy drones and stuff like that. There's no like
First
you
of
know.
all, I want to just comment on and tell you how endearing it is that you added an S to that. So it wasn't porn, it was porns. Like, you know, porns
Is it
plural.
wrong?
We're
Okay.
No,
we're
it's
doing
beautiful.
something right on this show that 2 days in a row we're talking about porn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, there's over 100 people live watching us. Tell us in the chat whether you like this area of the conversation or don't. If you don't, go fuck yourself. But please continue. I love the idea.
Yeah.
Drones flying around, multiple camera
Exactly.
angles, all that stuff.
Yes. So one thing I started recently is like, I have a new drone. I can get it later, but it's kind of like a very special drone, which not normally you have like the drone footage which go like this, right? But I during the last months I trained to fly a very special drone, which is called, it's like a FPV drone. So basically what it does is like, it's a racing drone where you just put a GoPro on top of it, and therefore you can do like the sickest shots ever, which are like a hawk flying through the world, kind of. And basically, getting back to the porn idea, I was like, like there must be an option to combine it, you know, like flying like super dope, like mountains down, and ending up at a very special location. and I want to I want to outsource this to the Void, because I'm also a proud Cedar disrespecter, and like this idea is for the world. If you want to do it, learn how to try the.
Thank you. You're so generous. You
Yeah,
are
I
such
know.
a kind, giving, generous person.
I know.
Thank you for
I'm
this
just
gift to
imagining
the world.
I'm just imagining this epic traditional film that we're talking about making here, of how babies are made, and I'm imagining you flying in on, you know, like a racing drone. And I don't know if you guys have watched these in the audience, but they're fucking crazy. Like I mean, it's
crazy.
extremely fast paced. How fast do they go? They go like 50, 60, 70 miles.
150, I don't know miles, but 150 kilometers per hour, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Like they're very, very fast.
That's crazy. Okay, so basically it's going to be these shots, but everybody's going to be like projectile vomiting while they're watching this all over themselves, because they're going to get horrible motion sickness.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of
True.
the thrill, but
Yeah.
that's exciting, man.
Yeah. The interesting thing about it is basically you fly them with having VR goggles on. So it's not like normal drones you see like this, but because it's so fast, you are kind of immersed into like flying them. And basically you have your VR goggles on, and there's another camera on the racing drone, which basically live transmits what you see. So this is how you learn it. And like it's like proper learning. Like I was like for hours in a fucking simulator to learn how to fly it, because it's super hard to do so. And but I mean, it's pretty cool. Wait,
Yeah, you got it. You got to show it to us now.
That's it without the propellers. That's how it looks like.
Oh wow, it looks like an insect.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
So is this actually for, you're going to use this for cinematography or for filming, or is this just for fun?
No, it is for cinematography. And it's kind of like YouTubers started using it a couple of years ago, but it's still not that it's still not a lot of people do it. So by using this, I'm kind of like trying to do like the next quality step, because if you see shots like this the first time, they are pretty dope. And but it is kind of like people hack it for cinematography, and now like the big movies start doing it as well. Like I think one of the first one was like the new James Bond one, where he drives up like with this car up the the scene. This was filmed with an FPV drone as well. So like Hollywood and all of those people, that like they start to implement them now.
Interesting. So how did you get started in film? How did that happen? And then what led you into Bitcoin?
So actually I was that's why my name is Pleb Music. So I started out in the music industry, basically producing songs, and I also studied music or music business. And I produced my own songs and was kind of like an artist in the fiat world. And at some point I worked for big labels, and I worked for Warner Music, for example, and Universal Music. And I don't know, like during that period of time, I discovered Bitcoin and I got down the rabbit hole. And it was, for me, it was at some point like I didn't want to work in the music industry anymore, because like music industry is the most fiat thing you could work in, because basically what it is, like nowadays it's just like optimizing for clicks, and it's not about the quality anymore. So what some labels started doing is basically just harvesting TikTokers or influencers, putting them together with a producer, and produce some song about the influencer. And basically I was of the opinion that this is all bullshit, and the music industry the quality in the music industry is super declining. And then I was like, okay, fuck, I want, or I need to work in the Bitcoin industry, because like, I guess all of you know it, once you are in the rabbit hole, like your life totally changes, and all of your perceptions of life and values. And so I decided for myself, okay, I want to work in the Bitcoin industry, but I couldn't code. I didn't have any experience which would be like connected to Bitcoin. And so I was like this music producer thinking, okay, what the fuck should I do to contribute to the Bitcoin industry? And then at some point I joined Bitcoin Twitter, and yeah, this kind of like changed my my profession in a way, because I started doing audio memes. So the people who followed me like a couple of years back, they might remember, but like this is how Pleb music started. I took famous podcast clips and remixed them as a song. So basically, you had like Michael Saylor singing a song, or like battling Peter Schiff or something, but in a song cut on the the beat. And for this, I learned how to edit video, because I when I was 14, I made some of my own videos and made like my music videos when I was an artist. But it wasn't that I'm like a professional video editor or something. And then then I was like, okay, fuck, this makes so much fun. I want to do this more. And then with this, I learned, like, I was like every day learning how to edit. And at some point I got like my first jobs. I worked for a couple of Bitcoin podcasters and edited their podcasts, because I'm an audio engineer. And then I transitioned to editing their videos and so on. So it was like a smooth transition from the music part into the video part. And yeah, I'm of the opinion it's way, like, I have so much fun editing videos, because I think I can use what I learned from my music side with like also visual connections. And yeah, now I'm here making some drone shots and videos.
I love
That
it.
was a very long explanation.
No, that was fantastic. It's fantastic. I'm just continually distracted by the size of Q's mic and how it like covers his entire face. You look like Darth Vader, but I'm into it.
It's ASMR.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
How have sort of the European adventures been? I mean, Pleb Music, the last time we had a chance to chat with you on the show, you were gallivanting all over the world, checking out different citadels with Citadel Hunter. How has it progressed? Do you find that, you know, throughout this journey that you started a couple of years ago now, or at least a year ago, has it gotten easier to be using Bitcoin as you're bouncing around places?
I would say it is easier, but it's not easy yet. So you really have to want to use Bitcoin in a way. And I didn't manage to go to El Salvador yet. I don't know how easy it would be in a country which adopted it as legal tender. But in Europe, it's still pretty hard. And there are workarounds. For example, you could work on I use a Bitcoin credit card, for example, which is topped on with Bitcoin, or you could go to an ATM and withdraw cash there. But I would say it's still it's still challenging to totally work on or live on a Bitcoin standard. But this is kind of also what I want to explore, because I think it's very important also for future generations, or for like future Bitcoiners, or people who just don't even know about Bitcoin but use it, to kind of document how all of this started, and also to show them, hey, it wasn't an easy process. It's like we might have some fights, what we have like with like the proof of stakers and all the shitcoiners, but like it's just like I feel like this is an exciting time to be part of something that is so big, like Sound Money, and I think it's good to go through this processes to learn. Okay, it's very hard to use it on a daily basis, but this makes it obviously also hard for the mainstream to adopt it yet. But we're gonna get there slowly but surely.
If you could, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how many films or like film projects have you been part of to date?
Oh, a lot. So I worked on a lot of intros of other Bitcoin shows and a lot of podcasts. So I worked. I'm behind the scenes of a lot of things, and this is kind of like how my editing, I would say, accelerated that fast, because I was just doing what I love, like editing and doing it on Bitcoin content. And yes, that's how I learned to animate stuff and so on. And yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. It's been I've worked on, I think, 5 or 6 different Bitcoin podcasts in the beginning. Then obviously all the Bitcoin Magazine podcasts, which are all awesome. The live show. So I've been quite around, I would say. I can't answer this with a number.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know. What's your favorite podcast? Do you listen to podcasts?
I do, although lately I've been like, there's been so much going on. It's hard for me to like find time to do it. I mean, Citadel Dispatch is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Rabbit Hole Recap. Those are two of my like steadfast ones. I really like Preston Pish's podcast. I mean, honestly, there's too many to mention. There's so many.
It's hard, right?
It's really hard. I actually have to schedule in my day now, like when I'm not even joking, like when I listen to podcasts, because I want to like stay abreast of everything that's going on. I want to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions and their analysis, but it is tough. What about you?
It's like, I agree. It's there's so much good Bitcoin content out there now. It's very hard to keep up. And yeah, Rabbit Hole Recap is one of my favorites, obviously. And yeah, and then I now learned to. I'm not listening to one podcast like which I did before, just every episode. But now I'm just checking which guest is where, and like there are periods in my life where I'm like, okay, I need to listen to everything what this guest is saying, and then I'm just skipping around. But yeah, it's a lot of Bitcoin content around these days, which is awesome to see. Love it.
What's the most fucked up thing that's happened to you while you were filming something?
In Amsterdam, like I was interviewing someone, and I have like this huge bag with all my camera stuff and so on, and there was like, it might be a dinosaur, I don't know, but it like shitted like shit right on it, and
Shat.
like shat, is it shat?
Shat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's shat, like seriously, it was like this big, and yeah, it wasn't nice. So this was pretty fucked up, because yeah, I think it's still in there somewhere. So yeah, never touch my bag, guys. It's full of shit. No.
I just imagine you screaming like, "The show must go on," and then like incorporating it into the episode.
Yeah,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, a lot of shit happening. Lol. Oh, guys, the quality of the jokes is going down rapidly.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, that's like, we're here for our own amusement.
Yeah, see, Pleb, since you've left, we've really taken a stronger focus on what we want to do rather than what you want to do. So,
Okay. So
we've really fallen off the map, is what I'm trying to say.
No, we're squarely on the map. We're taking the journey together. It's all gorgeous. I'm curious what your take is on some of the recent like Bitcoin specific like Twitter drama that's going on. Like, what do you, as a self-proclaimed seed oil disrespecter, what are your thoughts on the kind of like maximalism versus whatever the fuck you'd call the other thing going on? What's your experience of that?
So I gotta prime everything that I'm saying, that like the last 2 weeks I was just like, I don't know that much what happened. Obviously I know what is happening, but I was just like editing the episode because I wanted to get it out. So I don't know all the caveats, how it started, what happened. I just know that like there's some fight going on right now. And but regarding Bitcoin maximalists and like all of the toxicity, I would say I'm of the opinion that it's a very good thing that our space has, because there's just so much shit going on, so much scamming, and it's very, very hard for people to kind of grasp through it, because like if you mention Bitcoin, they don't even know that, like they can't, a lot of people who get new into it, they can't really distinguish it between cryptocurrencies. They just don't know it, and I think as toxicity is kind of as here in the chat, toxicity is a feature, not a bug. It's kind of like a filter through all of the bullshit, and I think we need those toxic maxis to kind of have the base, and to build the base, because like this is kind of like we are trying to accomplish something very big, which is basically separate money from the state. And so we need to have our foundation as solid as possible. And I think this toxicity is a way for us to shield ourselves of people who might want to infiltrate this foundation. And so I would say it is, in a sense, good. And yeah, people just need to I mean, if you're a fucking scammer, you gotta be called out and be called out by the maxis. That's if you do bullshit's gonna come back. It's kind of like karma. And but also I want to say, because a lot of people say that Bitcoiners are so toxic and whatever, like in my opinion, the Bitcoin people and the plebs are one of the best people I've ever met in my life, because like all the connections I made, all the friends through Bitcoin, they are truly, truly special. And if you follow the cause, and if you kind of want to help hyper Bitcoinization, or if you provide a value to Bitcoiners and to the people, then they're gonna like it's like a synergy happening, because we all have similar values and we try to accomplish the same thing. So they're gonna help you, and they're gonna like just starting out with meeting Bitcoiners, I felt like, okay, they want to help you to achieve your goals. They're gonna help you. So my personal experience with Bitcoiners is like one of the most positives I ever had. So I think this perception of being like so toxic might be a little bit wrong, whereas this is just a filter to get into this very closed group of people who, if you have the same values, you fit in with those peoples. And then this is a very special thing you have, because everybody's helping each other, and like you have those friends for life, kind of. And so I think it's just the filter for people. Once you have the values, you can get in there, and still muted.
Guys,
Twice in the show.
I know. It's
Dude,
unacceptable.
like, welcome to my life. And
Really
you would think
somebody
that
sent me.
You're still working with this guy? I mean, what's the professionalism?
I know, it's my pretty face. It's the only reason I get by in this industry.
They told me they'd be improving my co-host here, but I'm still waiting for that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Why do you think people? I'm trying not to lead you to a specific conclusion, but why do you think that there are people who are part of the community suddenly like kind of appear to turn against it or kind of go beyond the pale and start advocating against these qualities that, I think everybody on the show would agree are, 95% of the time very positive. Where do you think that comes from?
I think there's a lot of, with like bull markets and with some reach that people get, I think there is a lot of ego building up in some people. And I think like being driven by an ego can be very detrimental. And I think I don't think that the people even realize that the ego is such a big part of everybody's life. Like the ego basically, if you never thought about it, I would just like get everybody in this chat or something, just think about yourself and your ego. The ego is basically the person you've created for yourself and the life you have. And I think a lot of those people in the space, this ego gets very, very big at some point, and therefore they are more driven by the ego than they were in the beginning. And the problem is that Bitcoin and the ego, they are basically not they don't work together, because like you basically need to totally leave your ego to accept Bitcoin and to understand it. That's also my opinion what happens to Nassim Taleb or all of those economists. They just like their ego to accept Bitcoin in a sense, or that there is this thing which is basically just code which changes like the world and people's lives. I think the ego just blinds the vision for them. And I have the I think that this might also happen with some Bitcoiners, where the values aren't as solid as they should be, and therefore like this vision or this sense of, okay, this is Bitcoin, or the maxis are so toxic. I think it's just because their ego got at some point too big, and they are not true plebs in a sense. I think that's my theory, but who knows? I think every person is different. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think you made a lot of generalizations and then said every person is different.
Yeah.
But I think you're also really trying to take out a lot of feelings on one person in particular. Baby Hanson Carter. Sorry.
What? No, didn't
Baby Hanson Carter?
No. What?
Baby Hanson. I want to start that. Baby Hanson
Okay.
Carter.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, isn't it also happen like Richard Hart? Oh, that's a name we should never say here. But
you were
he
there
was
for
also
that catastrophe.
Yeah. He was also a Bitcoiner, right? And
Vitalik.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, but maybe it's also a filter for the people to get out again. Maybe there's another filter which has to get rid of people who don't have the best interest of Bitcoin.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
I think there is a healthy practice, to my understanding at least, how you don't get these people who spending the entirety of their lives and careers focused on being a core developer of Bitcoin. I actually think it's very healthy that you see this cycle of people come in and out, rather than having one person in charge of it all, focusing all of their biases into what they program and create, unlike what you see in a lot of these other protocols. But I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time, so P's skeptical looks kind of tell me I'm wrong. P, how far
I just didn't understand the direction you were going, because I mean, there's the Bitcoin is so much broader than just the core devs, right? So there's obviously
totally. Like I was careful to not say like devoting your whole life to Bitcoin, because that's literally what all three of us have done. But I mean it more specific in the lens of like coding within Bitcoin, on Bitcoin. I don't.
Pleb Music, do you have any idea the direction Q stays?
Is it what you want to say, that it's also good that the core developers change with time.
Yes.
So
yes.
Oh,
That's
okay,
essentially what
got
I'm
it.
trying to make.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I would agree. Like it's you gotta change it up. Like you don't want any core developer to be too powerful over the code, right? You gotta slay your heroes at some point, and yeah.
So
On this
I'm just
topic of
putting like all of
heroes,
this.
who is your current Bitcoin
Yes,
hero?
God.
Jeff
Because we're
Booth,
gonna
no question.
okay, so we're gonna have to slay Jeff Booth.
He can't be slayed. He's half bear.
Ooh, that's that. Yeah.
You just
Whoa,
said slay your
that's a good one.
heroes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Look, if you want to go hand in hand with the fucking
hurts to
grizzly
slay
bear,
him.
I have no interest.
you're gonna
That's
die.
good.
But he
Good
said that.
heart.
Do you want to talk about a little bit of the work that you're doing with Jeff and Greg and some of the stuff that you guys have started together?
Yes, so I worked with a couple of plebs and Greg Foss and James Lavish and Seb and Daz. Shout out to all of them, and Jason on something called the Looking Glass, which is basically a learning platform for people who don't understand Bitcoin yet. And we have like a curriculum of different aspects you need to understand for Bitcoin. So it's basically just an educational platform which explains to you where the world is at right now. You're gonna understand what inflation is and all that you need to understand where the current financial system is. And it then goes into why Bitcoin might be a solution for the problems we have. And the interesting thing about it, or the point I want to emphasize here, this is kind of like written for people who have no idea about money, no idea about financial education. So we really focused on the people who don't have access to normal educational content. And so basically, I send it to all my friends and families because they don't have the time to understand. Okay, this is the history of money. This is the problem with it, and this is kind of like, I think all in all, it takes like 2 hours to take the full course. And we built this platform together, and now we start to translate it in different languages, and we for example, we're going now to the Spanish countries. We work with a school in El Salvador together. So it's basically just about educating people who don't have access to financial education about Bitcoin, because financial education is just so important. And yeah, it's totally free. It's the Looking Glass Education. That's how it's called. And yeah, that's basically what we've been working on. And yeah, I'm very bullish on this project because, as I said before, this is what is missing: the education about Bitcoin, about the financial system. Because like me, I was a dumb musician before. I had no idea about money. I didn't even care. Like a lot of my friends, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna make music, and money is this thing you might get or might not get. But like, I had no fucking clue about the world, and so yeah, that's why I kind of like, the goal is to get people into it.
Well said. That sounds awesome, dude. How can people find this?
It's called the Looking Glass Education. Just
It's
Google
out.
it. It
It's out
should
right
come
now.
up. Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's running for I think 2 or 3 months already, and we have like tons of people doing it. And we work right now on like a curriculum for schools also, which is pretty cool. So we work with governments together or not governments, but like I don't even know, like organizations, I think, to get this into schools as like as a project.
So, if you're keeping score like I am, we have a musician who's a filmmaker, likes Bitcoin, educates people. I mean, ladies, he's single. I can confirm he's also over 6 feet tall. So you have that covered there as well.
Yeah.
Slide in them DMs.
Let's go. My DMs are always open, guys. Not
And he's-
guys, but girls. So
And he's
All right.
hilarious.
I guess he's welcome
Wait.
to have guys slide in his DMs too. So anyone, no judgment. Feel free to slide in his DMs regardless of
Yeah.
what team you bat for.
So I want to take us through, in order to sort of lure you to do this
What's
episode with us.
lure?
To like pull you in, to get you excited about doing this episode with us last minute, because our previous guest unfortunately wasn't able to make it. I generated some images using some of the AI systems that I become obsessed with, and I want to just go through them really quick and see which one you identify the most with, which one you feel really effectively represents who you are.
So one funny thing, I already saved this one. I don't know which one that is gonna come next, but this one is kind of deep. I
feel like I'm just witnessing a therapy session between the two of you, and P is like, what does this image make you feel like?
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. To be clear, the prompt was like, German man, a young German man with a camera on his shoulder, and then some other stuff like Baroque and weird, keywords. And it just went in this crazy direction.
P, you got to introduce Dolly 2 also.
Oh, this is not actually DALL-E 2. This is a different one. But these are systems that take, they have access to basically like, all human generated images, or let's say massive number of them up until like, 2019 or something. They understand human language, and you go in and you give them text prompts, and then they generate images based on those. So here's another one. You as a man with a glorious beard who also has another sort of midget version of himself hidden inside of the camera. I feel like this is a commentary on kind of like the Orwellian state, something. There's this one. You got the camera growing out of the side of your head, and apparently you're from the 18th century. This one where you have the future camera. And
did you watch Peaky Blinders?
Yes. I love the gold.
He looks like the I don't know his name, the Jewish guy. His face a little bit. You remember it?
He also has half of a beard and no lip. So something terrible happened to this version of you. And then I think this is you said this is your wife with also a camera coming out of her arm. Yeah. So which of these?
If anybody looks like the last one, please, I'm gonna marry you.
Okay. So which of these do you feel like most accurately represents your inner psychological life?
I would say the first one. Really, it's pretty cool.
This one. All right.
Yeah. I mean, look.
I mean, your neck is a camera. I want you to understand that is not cute. Separate to
Look at it. How cool is it? This person is talking through the camera, and he uses the camera to
communicate with the world around them.
Exactly. And what am I doing?
It. I mean, I'm just saying all P has done is given ideas of how the robot overlords are going to change your body and make you a human camera cyborg. But sure, celebrate this while you can.
Yeah. And there's also like a bee or something, it looks like a bee on the other camera.
Yeah, I try to throw Bitcoin in there too. Also, I like that apparently you fly around in a little camera as well. I'm imagining this is like a little seeing you from behind as you fly away.
So cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for
Quick question for you now. Would you personally integrate to a machine if it's possible at some point?
Would I integrate into a machine? Would I become a cyborg? It depends what type of machine.
Like for example, like there are theories of like, okay, the technology will evolve, blah 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 blah, and like at some point it might be possible to merge with a machine to get like additional, I don't know, whatever. But like,
do you know how many short kings are gonna just literally, like, mind you, I'm 6'2", I don't need it, but like if you said you can grow 6 inches by like having a robot legs, you understand the wait for that is going to be longer than the wait for the Tesla Cybertruck right now.
Yeah. Stuff like this.
Like, I don't want that, but like the microchips, like you're going down that path a little bit. Like, look, I ain't got no muscles up here, but like, look, you want to give me like ripped pecs and a 6-pack, like through machines? Down.
I mean, I don't think those are the most interesting aspects of this question. I think it gets really interesting when you're talking about, so like a new limb, things like that. Like, yes, if I had a limb amputated, if shark jumped out of the water while I was on a boat or a jet ski while I was holding my Bitcoin, bit the arm off and took the Bitcoin with it, That happens thousands of times every day to people. It's one of the most common ways to lose access to your stack. Anyway, if that happened to me though, I would certainly take like a cyborg arm. Like that seems like a dope thing.
That's an easy one though. Like if you're missing an arm, like if my back goes out and I can't walk again, like absolutely, I want a robot spine to like make sure I can walk again. Yes, I'm saying right now, the clone of P, are healthy, fine, dandy. Would you go and put a microchip in your brain to increase your brain capacity?
Here's where it gets interesting. Yeah. So I think what you're talking about is like an exocortex, which is like basically if you could have some way of interfacing with a machine that would, increase your ability to process information, your memory, things like that, in a way that was not required for a medical reason, right? That's what you're kind of asking. Yes. Would I basically want to improve myself, yes. A la...
Like I don't want a boob job. I want a robot job.
Okay, a robot job, a robot hand job. Got it. Well, first of all, you're going to get your dick ripped off immediately. But after that, I mean, I love the idea of it. I would be very, very cautious, to give you a real answer, around anything that had to do with my brain or central nervous system. I think that, there are so many opportunities. How do I say this? We have evolved over millions of years to have a very robust immune system. We have many, many biological systems in place that protect our brains and aim to, prevent certain attack vectors to us functioning as normal people, for the most part. Adding non-biological components in your brain has a profound... It creates a pretty significant attack vector. And I wouldn't trust even people with the best of intentions necessarily unless I felt like I really deeply understood exactly what this hardware that was interfacing with my brain was doing. I'd be very wary because those things can be hacked. They could be recording information in certain ways that who the fuck knows when or how it could be used in the future. But I just don't want a machine in my brain that could be fucking with me in ways that I wouldn't even know about.
That's what she said. I can totally understand. Yeah. I mean, okay, follow-up question. So what is this? Isn't this phone already kind of integrated in our daily life? Because like, if you take this away, basically human beings will be totally different. This is, in a sense, if you think about it, already integrating ourselves. Obviously it's not physical I agree 100% that's something different, but having the phone already like it is, it's already a first step of people integrating together with machines because we are highly dependent on them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a great point. The same thing could be said for our computers that we use, right? Like I could not, if you talk to somebody 30 years ago, you couldn't even explain how we are having this conversation today, and the hundreds of people that are watching us live, and the people that are going to go watch after that, like literally their brains could not conceive of it. And in the same way, there are going to be technologies that exist while we're still alive in 30 years that the three of us will like barely be able to conceive, but we'll adapt as we go. Or at least you couldn't describe them to us right now, and we wouldn't be able to comprehend them, but we could try. I think you're right that phones and computers profoundly affect the way that we behave as humans and who we are and how we think. And I don't think that we give enough credit to that fact.
Exactly. Because my initial, first reaction is also, no, I'm never going to do it. Like, never going to integrate with machines or something. But like, if you think about it, we already are beyond that stage. We are already, in a sense, integrated with machines. And this kind of like, I'm very, very skeptical of it. But it's just like, for me, it's such a wild thing to think about and like a concept. We are already integrated with machines, and I think this takes a little bit away from this notion of, no, I'm never gonna integrate with machines, because it's kind of already happened. And now I'm just wondering, like, there might be a safe way to integrate at some point. Maybe it's like the evolutionary process that human beings are meant to take. Also, very, very deep topic now, but basically we are also integrated into Bitcoin, right? Knut van Holm said one of his things is like, if you have like the 12 or 24 words in your brain, you are basically Bitcoin. Because if you just have it in the brain, if there's no paper or anything, you are basically Bitcoin. You are integrated within Bitcoin because the only thing that can access it is the words in your head, which is kind of a way to integrate yourself as a human being into fucking Bitcoin, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, that is, it's a great point. I mean, another way you could say that is your eyes are actually an extension of your brain. They go directly into your brain. It's part of your central nervous system, and they are information processing organs. And so things that you are seeing in text are, and just visually, are going into your brain already. And they are changing the way that you think and feel and interact. And I think, phones specifically, there are hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars spent every year figuring out how to essentially hack the evolutionary systems that we have evolved to capture your attention and keep it on specific things that drive, that create financial outcomes for the people that develop those programs. Like, that's a very real thing. Phone addiction is a very real thing. And I have certainly experienced myself how using a phone basically has changed the way that I interact with the world. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, but it is something that I've been thinking a lot about lately. It's a great point. I mean, we are in many ways already integrated with machines. I think there is a difference, though, between having a physical thing that is shoved somewhere in your brain. That seems it seems like a larger attack surface potentially than having like a phone that you're interacting with.
Yeah, I agree.
Stop posting so much on Twitter and you won't be addicted to your phone, pleb.
Yeah, okay, fair. But it's so much fun.
So I also want to be respectful of your time. I know that you've given us an hour, and I know you have other stuff to do. You have other videos to edit. You have other cool shit to shoot. I want to end by having you kind of tell people where they can find you. Tell everybody again where this new show is going to premiere, how they can watch it and find it, and then I want to play the ad one more time, just so that everybody can see it. The ad, Perfect. By ad, I mean trailer. All the words blur together for me.
Yeah,
trailer.
That's good. No, basically, just Pleb Music everywhere. So on Twitter, on YouTube, and that's basically where I'm active. So, but this show particularly gonna live on the Bitcoin Magazine channel where you're watching this video right now, and it's gonna be posted tomorrow. I think you can already see that it's gonna be premiered tomorrow. Might be wrong, but basically it's gonna be live tomorrow. And yeah, also on my other channel, I have other videos that I've been producing. And yeah, just follow me on Twitter. I think that's the best way to see what I'm up to these days. And yeah, it was awesome talking to you guys. Thanks for the opportunity, and talk to all of you soon.
Awesome.
Ladies,
anything else single. You want? What?
Ladies, he's single.
Anything else you want to let everybody know before we? Sounds good.
Yeah, stay humble. Don't let your ego overtake yourself, and just stack sats.
Love it. All right, my friends. We're going to play the trailer for the new show that debuts tomorrow on the Bitcoin Magazine channel. Then we're going to be back. Q and I are going to go through news and notes as usual. So stick around. If you have not already got your tickets for Bitcoin Amsterdam, do so. Use code BMLive for 10% off. We have, of course, the incredible Bitcoin Magazine. The censorship-resistant issue is out right now, and you should also check it out. It's my favorite issue so far. They just get better and better and better. It's disgusting how awesome it is. All right, my friends, be well.
Take you on a journey and show you how real this internet money is. I'll be taking you to various cities around the globe to report on what's going on with Bitcoin. My first stop will be in Amsterdam. I'm going to try to survive for 48 hours solely on Bitcoin. There will be no euros, no dollars, or no other currency used for transactions besides Bitcoin.